Welcome to video 2 of the Proton Escape app tutorial. We're going to start by connecting these two screens that we made in the last video, so screen 1 and our game screen. We're going to click on blocks right here and we're going to be taken to a screen where we can build some code. So the button is what we want to code. We want to code it so that this button, when it's clicked, we want the next page to open. So this top option right here where it says when button 1 is clicked, we want to pick that up and drag it out here. We want to open a new screen now. So under our control, we want to control what the button does. So we're going to go into control. We're going to pick open another screen right here. We're going to grab that and thunk it right inside this button there, or that block there. So now it says when button 1 is clicked, we want to control it by opening another screen called what? Well, we need to grab a text box for that. We're going to scroll to the top where it's just a blank text block. And we're going to type in the name of our screen exactly the way that we have it over here. So capital G-A-M-E. So that way when that button is clicked, it will open the game screen. I'm going to go back to Designer. And this is the button. Now it's not actually going to work here, but when we test it, I'll show you how to do that by the end of this video. When we test it, we'll be able to go back and forth between the two screens. So this button, when it's clicked, it's going to go to the game screen. I'm going to go to the game screen now and code this button. I'm going to go to blocks, and that's also called button 1 on this screen. It's the first button we put on this screen. So button 1, when it's clicked, same thing we did before, we control it by opening another screen, and this time the screen is named screen 1 because it's the first screen that we started with. We want to go back home. All right, screen 1. So I'm going to go back to Designer. Now what we need to do, those buttons should be able to connect back and forth. Now we need to put a background image on our canvas so that the electrons and protons are flying all around this canvas. The neutrons will be in the middle, but the protons have escaped. So we need to have as a background image an atom. So I'm going to open a new tab and I'm going to type in images.google.com. And it's important that we don't just search right away here on Google Images. We want to actually go down to Settings and Advanced Search. Pause the video if you need to because there's a lot of steps here. So you're at images.google.com, you've clicked on Settings and then Advanced Search. We're looking for a picture of an atom, but we're going to scroll down and where it says usage rights, we want to make sure that this is a picture that we're able to use freely, that the creator has said it's okay for us to use in an app. So we want free to use or share, even commercially. That means you could sell your app someday, and it would be okay. We'll do advanced search, and now we have all of these options. Okay, you can do one like this. This is a good one because it has a nice empty spot. So I'm going to right click on that. And I'm going to save the image as. And I can see that it's called images right here. I might rename it if I want it to be something that I can remember and find easier later on. So I'll rename it to Atom and then click Save. And there, put it in my Downloads folder. So I'm going to go look for that now. So I'm going back to Thunkable. And when I click on the canvas, over on the right, it has a background image as an option. I will click Upload File and choose File, and this is the one I had, Atom, so I can find it. I may need to look, it may be on your desktop or your downloads folder. Different computers are different, so see if you can find it and then click Open and OK. And that's going to put the picture as the background image of the canvas. All right, the next thing we need to do is we need to put some neutrons in the center of our atom. So I clicked on drawing an animation over here. We're actually going to choose the ball. So we're going to click and drag it over. We're going to kind of make a circle with 6 different neutrons in it. So I'm going to change the properties of each ball that I drag over. My neutrons, first of all, they're going to be blue. That's the color that I have chosen. And I also want the radius to be 7. I want to make them just a little bit bigger. So I need to pull over 6 of these because it's a carbon atom and there are 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons in the carbon atom. So I'm going to make 6. I'm just going to kind of put them next to each other, kind of lumped together. Not too close together because you want to be able to see that they're different neutrons. Okay, so there's 2, 3, radius 7. You'll notice it kind of jumps around on you a little bit, and that's okay. It'll probably do that occasionally, and all you need to do is pick it up and move it back. Oh, there we go. So it kind of jumps around. You do need to have some patience, and I think some of that has to do with either the speed of your internet or just kind of if you're going too fast, you might need to slow down a little bit. So this is my fourth one. It's going to be blue and 7. Remember, I'm trying to get 6 in here. So these are the neutrons. And I'm going to pick that up and drag it right there. And give it a second. Okay, and now I'm going to drag my fifth one over. I'd like it to be right about there. And I'm going to change it to blue. Oops, not indigo. And the radius is 7. It's important that you keep the size the same for all of them. And then one more ball right about there. Again, this is our last neutron. So you'll notice right here, as I finish these settings, that they have numbered the balls for me. So I have balls 1 through 6 on my canvas so far. These neutrons have escaped. We need to put those back in place. We're actually not going to be coding these at all because they are exactly where we want them. So we've got 6 neutrons kind of in the center of our cell. It certainly does not need to be perfect. I like how this looks. And we're going to be creating our neutrons next. I'm just going to see how much time I have left in this video. Okay, we have time to do the neutrons now. So balls 1 through 6 are the neutrons, and we are done with that. They're blue and they're perfect. Now, we need to put 6 protons in here, but they all need their own twin, because what's going to happen is we're going to have these protons kind of flying around the outside of the atom, and when you tap on it, we want it to move here. That's not exactly possible. We kind of have to trick our users. We kind of have to make this original proton right here, the one that's flying around, disappear when someone taps it, and then one that's right here, up here when someone taps this one out here. So it's a little confusing, but for now, all you need to know is that you need two protons for each proton that we need. So we're going to need 12 total. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to draw over proton number 1, and I'm going to kind of spread them apart so it's easy to remember. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it 7 for the radius. That's the size across. That's the number of pixels. And this time I'm going to make it red. So there's that one. And he needs a twin, and that twin is going to show up right in with the neutrons because eventually that's where we want him to end up. So we are going to do red for these. Again, they keep escaping on me when I put them there, so maybe I should put them somewhere else. Okay, so that's an okay spot. I'm going to just a little bit down here maybe. All right, so this is number 8 is the twin of number 7. And we're going to do that until we get to all 12. So this is number 9 and radius 7, red. Now this is number 9. Number 9 needs a twin to go in with the neutrons where it actually belongs. So ball 10 is going to be the twin of ball 9. We're going to change the color, the radius, and we're going to reposition it back in the center of the nucleus. Where did it go? There it is. Again, you need to have your patience pants on because this can get a little frustrating. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and you can too. When I come back, I'm going to have 12 red balls or 12 protons on here, 6 on the outside, 6 next to all of these neutrons, and I want you to do the same thing. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, so by now you should have all of your protons here. And I can show you, if you click over here, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15 are going to be the protons that are out here that will disappear when you tap them. And the even numbers, 8, 10, 12, you can see them as I highlight here, will show up in the center of the nucleus. So that's how we want to kind of organize this. I will see you in the next video to actually code these.